Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Crafty Hour number 78. It is Deanna here at Clipper Street. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to get started in just a few minutes. I just logged on early so that everybody can find us. And then we are going to get started using the beautiful Simple Stories junk drawer. I just love this line. It's got so many fun elements. And of course, there was a whole release with it. There was the collection kit, the paper pads, brads, stickers, you name it. We had everything. And Courtney and I decided that since it is a week before Christmas and we know everybody is busy, including ourselves, that we would take an easy one right now. So this is what we're going to be doing. It is nice and easy. For the most part, we are going to just follow along with the instructions, but we are going to change them up just ever so slightly. And of course, the changing up, that is totally optional. You do not need to do it if you don't want to. That is totally okay. You can do whichever. I'm just going to flip that into place here. There we go. So don't feel you have to change it, but I did mention that I was going to be using some foils. I mentioned a green foil that's going to work great with the green card, a pink foil, and a gold foil. And then one of the cards I'm going to change up completely. Now, whenever you get these kits, and Simple Stories is really good about releasing these with almost every line. Not all of them, but almost. And so when you get these kits, they actually have 8 different cards. So Courtney and I did a schoolyard pick, and we each chose 4 cards to create with you. We'll see how our time is and if we can get through them all. And then we also gave you half a pack of the enamel dots. So we're going to be adding those to our cards as well. I'm going to set that off to the side so I know where to find them. Now, inside your kit, I'm going to open this one up. I have already split mine up. And if you have not yet picked up this kit, we have a handful left, both here and Courtney has a handful left for her customers. So if you were like, nah, I don't need it, feel free to give us a call after our live, and we can absolutely get you that. And then you can rewatch this at any time. They're great all occasion cards, good for stuff just to have in your stash so that come one day you need it, you are ready to go. Now inside, when you open them up, you're going to find an instruction sheet. And like I said, we're going to change them up ever so slightly. You're going to find 8 card bases, which we will be, of course, using those. So you can pull 4 aside right now. 4 of them. And then you guys will have got chipboard and a few sheets of die cuts. I think there's 4 of them. Now, Courtney asked you to go through and pick out the one she's going to be using. I did not. So what you have left should be, for the most part, for me. Now, I am going to refer to these so that we know where to find them, because sometimes we're going to use the die cuts, which are the paper ones, and sometimes we're going to use the chipboard. So I'm going to leave this just so that I can point to you, but I think since Courtney had you already pull them out, it's going to be pretty easy for you to find. That'll probably be the most time consuming part for us. All right, we are going to get started. This is our last Crafty Hour together for 2025. But I do want to remind you, just in case I forget or run out of time, that tomorrow morning we are announcing our Crafty Hour number 80. And this is going to be one that Courtney and Diane's going to take over. She's going to be doing it. It's going to be Thursday, January 29th. This will go live tomorrow morning. So you will have all of this to go live tomorrow morning. And Diane just walked in. I was just saying that you're going to be doing that. Thank you, darling.
I'm very excited.
Diane is very excited. As soon as I showed her, and we were already brainstorming all different types of ideas using the die. Yes, we are including a die with this one. So don't miss out. Set your alarms. Go get into the event. Make sure that you are ready to go for tomorrow morning because we can't get any more dies. So when it's sold out, it's sold out. That's going to be tomorrow morning, just in case I forget to tell you. All right, so welcome everybody. We are going to go through and make the cards together. As I mentioned, if you're just tuning in, some of them I am going to change up. It is optional. Please do not feel you have to change up if you don't want to, but you'll see what I'm going to do, and then you can decide. All right, so we're going to start. Good morning, Courtney. We're going to start with our green one. I actually did these little cards. Aren't they adorable? I cut my cover up because when Courtney and I did our schoolyard pick, I wanted to make sure I knew which ones were for me. So that's the first card that we are going to create. So I want you to find your card base. There's 8 of them. We're going to use 4 this morning and 4 later. And I want you to fold it and give it a good score with your bone folder. All right, that's the first step. Go ahead and find that. Now, as I mentioned, since you've already pulled for Courtney, this should be fairly easy. But we have these ones that are kind of like your card bases. So I want you to pull out this green one. It's going to be in the top left corner, and it looks like this. This is the first one that we are going to use. Okay. And as you can see, they have it so that it is an exact fit onto the card, an exact fit. I am going to change that up. I want to, for this one, I want to add some of the green foil. So I'm going to change this up and put some of the green foil on top. So what I did with this one is I trimmed down the green, and I have a couple of pieces of each. I want it to measure, okay, the card should be 4 1/4. So I want this to measure 4 1/8, and this is optional, guys, just so you know, by 5 3/8. So just a little bit shrunken down, just a little, so that when I attach it onto my card, I just get this little border of white all the way around. So go ahead and glue that right on once you cut it. 4 1/8. Now, if you are not going to use the green foil, totally okay. If you don't want to use it, you can just take this and glue it straight on. This is from your die cut sheet. So you have options. I'm going to continue because we got 4 cards to create, and you can decide. Maybe you want to decide after you see what it looks like. That is okay. You can have a nice cup of coffee or cup of tea and watch along. Okay, so we'll put that on. We'll leave that there. I think I cut that crooked, but that's okay. Now, because I am going to use the green foil, my next step is to take off that green border. So if you're playing along with me and adding foil for that extra pop, then let's go ahead and just cut off that green, okay? My goal is to show you that you don't have to use it quite the same way. You are totally flexible to change this up and add more little pops here and there to make your card stand out. So now I just took off that solid green border that was all the way around. And we're going to double check it just to make sure it is good. It is perfect. So now I am going to glue it right on to my green foil. Okay. All you're doing is just taking a little off. And if you don't want to do that, totally good. You don't have to, but you do have to glue it to your card. Okay. So either or. And I'm going to do this, I think, for a few cards. I am going to add different ones. I think the last card I left as is, just in case we don't get to it. You have the instructions. Okay, so I like that green shiny border. That's just me. Totally options whichever way you want. All right, I'm going to leave that there. And we're going to find the next piece. So there is a few of these strips. Let me see if I can find where this one is. Kept this handy. So on this die cut sheet, should have numbered these. On this die cut sheet, because you've already pulled Courtney, so there should be just a few left. We want this one up here, which is this green with this postmark, stamps, all kinds of things on there. And then underneath it, we're going to take this big one right here. Okay, it's on the same sheet. So this one and this one. And while we're on the same sheet, there's this little one here that says a little note to say. And that is right here. So we're going to pull out number 1, number 2, and number 3. Let's grab those to start with. Okay, I'll give you a moment. There's going to be 3 of them. Okay. And if you added foil, we're going to do the same thing to this strip. If you did not add foil, then you don't have to worry about it. You can just attach it. But I'm going to be adding a little bit of foil all the way across. So for this piece, I'm going to cut some green foil to measure. It's going to be a smidge over 2 1/4. So let's go with 2 3/8. 2 3/8. And we are going to go with perfect 4 inches. 2 3/8 by 4. So that is on a second piece of green. 2 3/8. Now, just a reminder, 2 3/8 is in between 2 1/4 and 2 1/2. 2 3/8. And then I'm going to trim it down to 4 inches. Okay, and you have an option. Actually, I didn't even think about that. We could have taken off the green border. I think I'll leave the green border on just as a little extra. And I'm going to trim off those little nubblies. You can sand them. I just take my guillotine, and because my guillotine lets me do the tiniest, I can get rid of those. I missed that little step there. There we go. Perfect. If you are not going to use the foil, hang tight, because we are going to foam tape this one together. Now, when I put it on, I see my border is a little too big, so I am going to smidge just a little bit off. And I'm going to straighten up because I'm a little crooked. So I'm just going to take a hair off until I'm happy with that even border. It all will depend on how much you took off. Better to have a little bit too much. Yeah, that's good. Then be short. Okay, so I'm going to glue that together. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. I know it's a crazy busy time of year. So I am happy that you joined us. All right. And I'm just going to smidge that a little bit. I don't want any green foil on the sides. I'll pick it up on the card. I want them to be the same length. So I'm just going to fix that a bit. Okay. Now I'm going to foam tape this. Okay, so we're going to grab out our foam tape. And I'm going to put some foam tape on the back of it. So one piece and one piece, foam tape on the back. And then I'm going to put it right above this newsprint here. Now make sure it is facing the right way, because of course there is different ways for you to, I got some glue coming out. Let me smidge that. There is of course different ways. If you do it upside down, you may notice that. So just being very cautious. And Got a little bit of glue, but I think that'll cover. So we're going right above that newsprint, and it is with foam tape. Excellent. Okay, so that is nice and easy. Okay, I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. I'll let you get that on, and then we are going to add our next step. And that is going to be with this big collage piece. Now this is all one piece, and when you look at the card, you don't realize it's all one piece. I was thinking each one would be separate, but it is not. It is all one piece. So this is the one we're going to use next. And yep, we are going to attach it. I'm going to say right about at the bottom of this postage one we did. So right about like that. Okay, we can even come up a smidge because I don't want to block all the newsprint. And what I'm going to need is a little bit of foam tape at the top, just a little bit at the top. I'm not going to put any at the bottom. So if I flip this over, I'm just going to put a little bit at what will be the top so that it doesn't cave in there. Good morning, everyone. So let's see, that might be enough. I'm going to double check it here, just make sure. Yeah, I think so. And then I'll put some glue on the rest. It is just going to fit. This is a big piece of ephemera, so it's just going to fit. I've got foam tape on the top and I've got glue on the bottom. I'm going to come down, center. Ah, that feels perfect. And as you can see, I'm just right at the bottom of that. We're going to call it the postage stamp strip. Not sure what it's called. Little ephemera strip. Okay. And if I look, I'm going to say probably about 1/2 inch down from the top. Those are just rough amounts. So that is what it's going to look like. Now, yours may look slightly different if you did not add that foil, and that's totally okay. Nothing you have to do. Okay, I'm going to take this next piece, which is this little note to say. That's the next piece I'm going to use. And because I have a little bit of those nubblies, I could cut them with my scissor, but I'm just going to just smooth that out. Of course, you could ink these if you want. I'm not going to worry about it. Mine looks like that. And then, of course, it's me. I'm going to add a little bit of foam tape on the back of that. So I've kind of got them alternating. Maybe I'll do it like that. Put one there, and maybe I'll put a little one in the middle, just for good measure. So it kind of has some foam tape on it. This is going to sit, let's say, we're going to come down maybe just a smidge. I think it's going to sit kind of like that. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, so I'll leave that like that. You can go ahead and attach. And then we are going to go to our chipboard. So once you get that done, we're almost done this card. This is how easy they are, even though we changed it up. Okay, so add that little library card, and then we're going to go to the chipboard. Now you have one pack of chipboard, and these are the two up here that you need, the word wonderful and the green butterfly. And let's actually do this. We also are going to take these two hearts right here. Now, does it matter which hearts you take? Absolutely not. All of these hearts will work for all of them. It was a little challenge blowing them up and seeing which one was which. It doesn't matter to me. As long as you choose two chipboard, a bigger one and a smaller one. And when I look at this little one here, it's a big one and a small one. So you choose whichever chipboard you want. Okay, they're all interchangeable. So I have the word wonderful, I have the green butterfly, and I have 2 chipboards. So the word wonderful, we are going to put right at the bottom of the card. It's going to go like this, right at the bottom of that library card. Now, if you put yours there, we're going to do it with foam tape. All I need is foam tape on the ends. Do you see there? I need it under the W and I need it under the U and the L. So I'm going to flip it over and maybe I'll use my little square. Maybe we'll try and see if that will work. Yeah, that works. And I'm going to put one on each side. And before I take the backing off, I'm just going to see, does that fit nicely? Oh, it fits really good. I love it. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Now, I can put a little bit of glue in the middle if I choose. I might not have to. But the key with this is you want to cover the bottom of that little note. See the difference? If you have it like that, it's kind of distracting to the eye. If we slide it down just a bit, that is much, much better. Okay, so we're going to add that. Good morning, everyone. Thank you guys for joining me. It's such a busy time of year. We were just talking before we started that tomorrow is going to be our last launch of our Crafty Hour for 2025. And it's a good one. It's a really good one. Okay, so that's perfect. So see how I don't see anything distracting underneath it. So we have that. Now we're also going to bring in our butterflies. Now, unfortunately, with the chipboard butterflies, it is harder to fluff the wings. You can, okay, they will bend gently, but you have to just be a little gently because you're kind of breaking it when you do that. So if you don't want to do that little gentle woo-woo, then you don't have to. You can leave it flat. But I have an issue with flat butterflies, so I never do that. So I have gently bent it, and you can see on the back that there is a little crease. And I'm going to put a pop dot on the back. The pop dots are a little bit thicker, okay? And I'm going to put that right like this. Now, I have a thing, and it's a me thing. Oh, how about I did. That didn't seem to want to stick. There we go. Oh, nope, it doesn't want to stick. I'm going to have to add a little bit of glue on there for some reason. I don't know why. I like my butterflies to fly into my card. So I chose to have the butterfly right about there flying into the card. You can see on their little sample, they have the butterfly flying off. So it's totally up to you, whichever way you like it. I find my eye goes off the card when I do that. So I like to add it just kind of like that. But it's totally up to you. And a pop dot's a little bit higher, so it will cover, be a little bit taller than that. Okay, and then we have these last two. You can do them flat or you can do them with foam tape. Totally up to you. I just realized I don't think I brought, oh, nope, I didn't, wait, nope. Oh, I only brought one size of these, so we'll just snip them. That is totally good. And you can do these ones flat if you wish. I'm just going to do a little foam on the back. And I guess I forgot my little one, so I'm just going to cut these, put one there. It really doesn't like that chipboard. And put one there, and this one's going to go right about there. And then I'm going to put another one, a little bit, and I'm going to put that one right about there. And this is still drying. And that's card number 1, all done. Okay, I'll leave that there for a moment. Again, yours may look slightly different if you didn't do the green foil, but essentially the same. All they did is they put a printed green on it. I like the shimmer of the foil. It is totally optional. Any foil that will match that green works good. This is just the hunky-dory one. I don't remember off the top of my head, but we've also been selling you a lot of the tonic foil. Tonic foil will work great with that too. Okay, we're going to move on because we got 4 cards to do. So we're going to move on to the second card. And we might, we'll see if I need that. Let me just pull out everything from my second card. I got them all pre-organized here, believe it or not. And this is one that I'm going to use some of the pink foil. Now, I chose a softer pink foil because this is a softer card. This is the one that we're going to be making. So I chose a softer pink foil, but you could use a brighter one if you wish. There's lots of options out there. Okay, so go ahead and grab a card base. And we are going to start this one. Now, I didn't do too much different with this one. Just a little bit. We're going to do the same. So find your bone folder. Give it a good crease. Gosh, I still can't get that ink off. Soap, shampoo, and nothing. And I'm still covered in ink. I had a fight with my pen yesterday. Guess who won? Not me. Okay, and then we're going to go to our die cuts. And again, this should be easy for you to find. We're going to pull out this piece right here with the pink flowers and the ledger paper in the middle. So I need you to find that one. And then on a different sheet, I need you to pull this pink, this long pink one. So I'll grab these so that you can see them a little bit closer. We need this one, and we need this one. These are the two that we're going to use. Okay, and if you're going to use the pink foil, you will need your pink foil. And again, the tonic pink foil, there's actually a beautiful Harmony glitter pink that would look stunning with it, of course. So if you have the Harmony pink, that would also look very good. It is the perfect pink. Okay, I think what we'll do is we'll start with our pattern paper. So this is the piece. And I personally am going to add foil. Now, if you are not going to add foil, okay, all I want you to do is glue it on. This is a horizontal card. Make sure that the words are right way up. You have all your letters off to the side. You're going to have it just like this. If you are going to add foil, you're going to follow me. Okay, so this is what we're going to trim our pattern paper to. Now I'm going to take it off this side. I'm going to go down to 5 1/4. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to take 1/4 inch off the right hand side, just like that. So it measures 5 1/4. And then I'm going to take a bit off the top. I'm going to take it to 4 inches. And I'm going to take 1/4 inch off the top. I'm not going to keep these. I have enough scraps, so I'm going to toss it. So this now measures 4 inches tall by 5 1/4 long. So that's the first thing. I just trimmed that down. And now I'm going to trim down the foil or glitter, whatever you choose. So I'm going to take my pink and I'm going to take it to just over 5 1/4, which is going to be 5 3/8. I'm actually going to take a little off each side because my edges got a little crunchy. So 5 3/8. So that's just over 5 1/4, in between 5 1/4 and 5 1/2. And then I'm going to take it to just over 4 inches. Okay, so that is 4 1/8, right in between 4 and 4 1/4. Now, if I did that right, I'm not trusting myself today, but that should give you the tiny little border of pink all the way around. And when I put it onto my card, I'm also going to get a tiny border of white. I like that because I like all my layers. If you didn't do that, you could just glue it straight to the card. So let's get all of that glued on. Again, foil glitter optional. Don't have to. I just want to give you options. Oh, you know what? We will, where did I put? We're going to add all of these at the end. I just realized we've got to add our green dots on here. So I'm going to put this off to the side. We'll add all of our dots at the end. Totally forgot. And then let's do this. Okay. And again, just double check that the words on your card are going the right way. And then we'll set that off to the side, let that dry for a moment. Okay. Let's grab a sip of coffee. Okay. Now with this strip that we just pulled out, we need to trim this as well. We need to trim this to 5 1/4. This is a pattern paper, so we're going to take it. I'm going to take off those little nubblies, and I'm going to take it to 5 1/4. So you're taking 1/4 of an inch off. You want all your pattern papers to be the same. I want to see that just like that. Okay, so go ahead and trim this to 5 1/4. I'm going to keep the white on here because it's going to mimic the card. So I'm going to keep the white on here, and I am going to cut a strip that is 2 3/8. So the next foil is going to be 2 3/8 by 5 1/4. Okay, make sure it's at 5 1/4. So I'm going to take another piece of foil, 2 3/8, 2 3/8, just over 2 1/4. Okay, right in between 2 1/4 and 2 1/2. 2 3/8. This is the foil by 5 1/4. I want it to be the same length. Same length. Let's put this on. Let's see. That's perfect. Yep. Let's glue it together. Whoop. On the page. On the page. Okay. Add a little bit of glue. Just a reminder, always when we post those events, click on them. Say that you're going, even if you don't want to do it live. I say this, I sound like a broken record, I'm sure. I say this all the time. The reason we tell you to do it is because you will get notification. You click on that notification, it takes you straight to us. It's no stress. And the other reason we tell you to is that then if you go to do it, let's say on the weekend, it will be in your events. So always, always, always try and click that you are going. I post those events both in Crafty Hour and on our Facebook page. Just makes it a little easier for you guys. Okay, we are going to attach this with foam tape, and it's going to go right in the center of this ledger paper. It's going to go right like that. So we're going to see a little ledger at the top and a little ledger at the bottom. Okay, so we're going to do this with foam tape. Nice long strip, and it's going to go right in the middle. So I'm going to put a big piece there. The glue might still be a little wet. And that's good enough. Okay, so foam tape, it's going to go edge of pattern paper to edge of pattern paper. Just like that. Right in the middle. Awesome. Okay, it's time to find some more die cuts. So we're going to go to, let's find the sheet, and I will show you them. And again, it should be easy because Courtney has already had you pull them out. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull these two out. This big frame right here that has all these lovely layers. We're going to pull that out. And then underneath, we're going to pull out this frame right here. Okay, so we have a frame. This would have been a great little shaker. We're not going to use it that way, but I want you to think outside the box. So we're going to pull out both of those. And we'll pause there. We'll just pull out those so we don't have too much on our table right away. Because this card has a lot of things. There's a lot to it. And I'm trying to get all my pieces organized. So we're going to attach this a little bit closer to the left, not dead center, but a little bit closer. And I'm going to need maybe a little strip of foam tape on the bottom and a little strip of foam tape on the top. I am not going to add foam tape in the middle. So I know my top has a little bit more space. So what I'm going to do is take one big piece like that, right at the top. And then I'm going to grab one of my foam strips because I know the bottom space, I don't have a lot of room. Not a lot. And I'm going to put it as close to the bottom as possible. Like that. Now I'll put a little bit of glue right in the middle. Just a little bit. The foam tape will do most of the heavy lifting on this, but we'll just put a little bit. And we're going to put it center, top to bottom, and closer to the left-hand side. Now, don't worry that it looks crooked because of the frame. Just worry that that line is straight, that line is straight. Get rid of that little nubbly there. Okay, and as you can see, I'm a little bit closer to the left-hand side. Got a little bit more room on the right-hand side. So that's the big layered ephemera. Okay. And actually, while we're here and while our paper is a little bit wet, go ahead and find one of the buttons. Now, this button that I used is the one that's inside the frame that I had you pull. So where's my frame? This is the frame. And inside that frame is a little button that has 4 stars on it. So find that one. We're just going to tuck it into place now. Itty bitty bitty glue. And let me show you. We're going to just tuck it like right about there. Just a little peeky. Okay, just like so. And let's go back to this. Same sheet. I think they made it easy for us. Same sheet. I want you to find this pink flower down here that has the green leaves. Same sheet as the ones we've pulled. Should still be there. It is the little flower down at the bottom. We'll find that as well. Okay. So this one we're also going to kind of tuck underneath. So we're going to just, before it gets too, well, I have to pull up my foam tape. But that's okay. We're just going to slide it. Let's see. Do I like that? Maybe a little higher. We're just going to see a little bit of it, just like that. So it goes underneath as well. I just pulled up the foam tape and slid it under. And then, you know what? I'm going to take my precision glue. And I'm going to slide a little bit of glue under there, so it doesn't move on me. So those are just items that we have tucked under. Make sure that your flower doesn't go past the bottom, stays into the bottom, otherwise it's going to rock. We don't want to do that. And then we've got the button up at the top too. These are just little pieces that we have slipped in. Easier to slip now. Okay, so now we're going to go to this little frame. And like I said, we could have done this as a shaker for sure, but I didn't want to take up too much time. So I'm just going to do it regular. And it is going to go over top straight and frame the flowers. Now I'm going to grab out my foam strips and use that. You can do it flat if you like, but I like that extra dimension because it really then feels like it is framing our flowers. So I'm going to take foam tape and put these around the edge. Okay, we got one piece that goes here, and then just a little, we'll just do it like that. Okay. So let's go ahead and put this on now. It's going to go straight, and you're just going to frame those flowers. I think that looks good. So just like that. Okay, so our frame is on there. Then, let's see, we're going to find the key. Now there's lots of keys, and I'm pretty sure all the keys are interchangeable. The specific key that they chose was this key. I had to zoom in and see all the keys. This is the original one that they chose right here. Okay, it's on this sheet. You should have it left. And this is the key that we're going to use. And we're just going to glue it flat, right, like, I think like that. Okay, a little bit more to the left. It's going to go on that frame. We're going to cover up some of it, not a lot, but some. So let's put some glue on that die cut. And I'm just going to put it down in the bottom right corner of that frame, just like that. It's going to hang down a little bit. I might even bring it down just a smidge more, but I think that's good. Okay, we're getting there. Let's go to our chipboard. Okay, so for our chipboard, we need some pink things. We are going to use the word beautiful. We're going to use the flower right to the right of it. And we're going to use that pink butterfly. So there's two pink cards. This pink up at the top is one that Courtney's going to do with you later. I'm going to do the pink one down the bottom. We have beautiful. We have the chipboard flower, and we have the butterfly. So let's work with that. Let's do that first. Okay, so we are playing with these three items. 1, 2, 3. We're going to start with our pink flower. Oh my gosh. And it is going to go right here, right on the corner. Do I want to? No, I think I'll just do some normal glue, but I can see, let me show you, it's going to go down like this. I can see that it hangs over the edge. See right here? It hangs over the left side of the frame. So I am going to put a little bit of foam tape there just to help so it doesn't get saggy. I'm going to do that. Add some glue. Ooh, that's way too much glue, Deanna. Good gracious. And it's going to cover the bottom right, left corner, just like so. Then the word beautiful is going to go right above the key. So if I do it like this and I see where it is, the U is kind of on the edge. I'm going to need a little bit of foam tape, probably right at the top. So to help that, what I'm going to do, this might be a little clever. I'm going to take some of my foam strip and I'm going to put it inside the frame. Inside, Deanna. Inside the frame, right above the key. Just like that. So that's going to just give us a little extra balance there. And then I'm going to put foam tape on the back of this. Can you have too much foam tape? Never. Never, says I. I don't need to cover the whole thing. And then I'm going to put it, and remember, it's going to overlap the key just a little bit. Okay. And the U is right at the side. They are springy. Sharon, totally agree with you on that. I just think they're good ones to have on hand. Okay, we're going to take our butterfly and my pop dot. If you wish to bend it slightly, you can. That's up to you. I'm going to. See if this one wants to stick. Yep, that one stuck fine. And I'm going to put it inside the frame in the top left corner. And then back to our die cut sheet. We're almost done this one. Back to this die cut sheet, I want you to find the words life is, okay, and then with you. They're right by that key we just pulled. Life is with you. Because what we're going to do, and maybe you don't want to do it, you don't have to. We're going to put life is here and with you down here. And I'm going to use my foam strip on this. All right, we're going to grab out the strip and I'm going to snip it because I know if I try and tear it, I'll probably stretch it. Normally I don't care, but on this little guy, I do. So we're going to put here, life is beautiful. And then down here, I'm going to try and find a spot that will work. Maybe I need double on there. You might not. I need a little higher just to cover it. Oh my gosh, too long. Too long. Back it up. I'm going to put it down here. There. Life is beautiful with you. Now, maybe you don't want to put it there. That's totally fine. You do what works for you. Okay, the last couple of things we need is chipboard hearts. I need 2 of them. Where did my chipboard go? So we need a larger one and a smaller one. 2 chipboard hearts. Any will do. I don't even know which ones I did. Oh, I did this one up here above hello. And I did, I think this one. But don't stress it. I tried to zoom in and look at the photos. It's not a worry. So 2 of them, as long as we have 2 different sizes. And then they did 1 of the larger paper hearts. And I did this one right here. That's what it looked like from the cards. It was like, again, challenging. So any will do. Do not stress. We're going to do the 2 chipboard up here. And I'm going to do these flat. Because I have a lot of foam tape. I'm just going to do them flat. And I'll show you where we'll put them. The large one goes like that. Okay, so kind of over top of the button and kind of on that collage. The little one goes here. Kind of like that. And then the paper one, you know what? I'm not going to add the paper one in. It goes down here, but I'm not going to use it. Nope, I'm happy with that. Yep, I'm going to leave it. Okay. I don't have room and I don't need it. So there we go. That card is done. Now I'm going to set it aside because we'll come back to it. I do want to do one more card and then you'll have one that will be homework that I did not change at all. And I specifically left that one for you just to copy the instructions. But I want to do the one that I did change up completely. I completely changed it up. So we'll put this off to the side, and we're going to do one more. One more together that I totally changed. And this was the one that I said, bring your gold foil. We are going to come, oh, I put it all together with repositionable and it's still all together. Okay, let's do that. Okay. So find a card base. We are going to be working on the yellow card, but it's not going to look like this. So I'm not even going to look at this. It's going to look very different. It wasn't my favorite, so I changed it up. So we're going to take our bone folder, fold this up. And if you are using gold foil, we are going to do the same trim. I'm going to cut off the bottom for a sec. We're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to trim our pattern paper. We are going to trim our foil. So pattern paper is going to be 4 inches across. And for this one, it's going to be 5 1/4. So I might take a hair off the top and I might take a hair off the bottom. Yep, 4 by 5 1/4. So that's the pattern paper done. And now I'm going to use my gold foil. I'm going to do just over 4 by 5 3/8. Now, if you're not using gold foil, all you're going to do is glue this to this. This is the yellow base that is on this card right here, this paper right here. Okay, so let's glue that on. Now, if you were not to change these cards up, you can see how quick and easy they would be. You could probably finish 4 cards in an hour, super easy, if you did not change them up. If you just followed along, it would be very quick and easy. Yep, that works. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Is that what we're going to do? Yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to attach that. But I wanted to add a little foil. I like to show you that you don't have to do exactly what they say. If you want to keep it simple, then great. If you don't, then great. You have options. Okay. Oh, I just found that. Now, there is a little strip that looks like this. It's got that same mustardy orange, mustardy yellow color. It is right down here. Go ahead and pull that out. Okay. So it looks like this. And once again, we need that strip to also measure 5 1/4. Remember, all the pattern paper, sorry, 4. 4. All the pattern paper is going to be the same. So 4 inches. And if you like, I am going to add gold to it, just like we've done with all the other cards. Exactly like what we've done with all the other cards. So that measurement is going to be, I think it should be 2 by 4. A 2 by 4. That's easy. Again, foil is optional. 2 by 4. We'll save that foil. 2 by 4. And then as you can see, that's going to give me gold on the top and gold on the bottom. So we're going to glue those together. And if you're not using gold, just hang tight for 1 sec. I also find by adding the foil or glitter, it gives this paper some stability. This is not super heavy paper. Their pattern paper is lightweight. So by adding it onto foil or adding it onto glitter, you can see that it is actually going to give you a little bit more stability. It's just a little bit easier to work with, I think. That's just me. So once we've got these glued together, we are going to put foam tape on the back. So even if you are not using foil, this is where you're going to grab your foam tape and put foam tape on the back. So it looks like this, and we're going to come up about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom of the pattern paper. So it's going to look like that, but 1/4 of an inch up from the bottom of the pattern paper. Okay. Back to our die cut sheets, and I want you to pull out this yellow one right here, this yellow banner tail. It looks like that, little yellow banner tail. And I also want you to pull out this rose cluster down here. Okay, so let's pull out both of those. And I will bring them in to show you the rose cluster. One sec. I have all my pieces partially attached, so I remembered. These are the next two that we need. Now we're going to attach this first. This is the banner cut, and we're going to put it at the top of the pattern. So it goes down about 1/4 of an inch in. And you see here, because we put this with foam tape, I just need the top part with foam tape. The bottom we're going to glue. So I'm going to flip it over so I can see it a little bit better. And I'm only going to put foam tape up to the banner. So I'm going to use this as kind of my gauge. I'm going to do it like so. And this one here is a little long, so I'm just going to take a haircut off it. I'll just put it over there. So it looks like this. And I know that that is going to be perfect. And then we'll just add a little bit of glue to the bottom. Flip it over. And about 1/4 of an inch down. Now, if you're like, Deanna, this is not what the instructions say. That is right. I am not following the instructions for this. Totally change this card up 100%. You'll see in a minute. Okay, so that's the next step. That's why I wanted to make sure we got this one done. Now, the next thing we're going to do is take out this guy right here, that big flower, and we're going to put it like that. It's going to be about half on and half off. Okay, so see the stems? They're kind of right in the middle. So I only need some foam tape on the right, not on the left. Oops, there's my little button. So foam tape on the right only. So let's do it like that. Maybe I'll add a little bit more like that. And then glue. I am totally going rogue. You got it. Glue over here. We have to change up one of them, right? And I'm going to put it half on, half off, like so. Half on, half off. Okay, keep with me because we're going to do another die cut. Oops. And that is on, let me find the sheet. I want you to find the button that is this swirly button right here. Swirly button, it was right next to that banner that you did. So go ahead and find that swirly one. That's the next one we're going to do. Looks like this. And we're just going to sneak this one right like that. Okay, so you see how I just snuck it underneath? If the foam tape's in the way, you can cut it a little bit. We're going to do this flat. We're going to tuck it right like that. Give a little point right there. Okay, so far so good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use 2 tickets. This card did not have any tickets, but I found that the 2 tickets were extra. So I want you to find the mustardy ticket and the cream ticket. The cream ticket is down at the bottom of this sheet where the flower was. And the mustard ticket was, let me see if I can find it, on this sheet, right next to that, right there. They always give you just a few little extras. So we're going to do, oh, now I just lost one. It's stuck to something. Oh, there it is. So we're going to do these 2 little tickets. And we're just going to glue them together, kind of like that, so it is fanned. It is fanned out. So just put a little bit of glue in there and stick it kind of like that. At the top of these 2 tickets, I am going to put some foam. I think just one little piece at the top. Sorry, it's sticking to me. One little piece at the top will do. So I'm going to put a little foam tape at the top, and at the bottom, a little bit of glue. That's more than enough. So I put the 2 tickets together. I chose to have the dark one on top. That is optional. Little foam at the top, glue at the bottom, and I'm going to put it right, I think there, right there. Okay. Go ahead and attach that. It's flat on the bottom, and of course we have foam tape on the top. So go ahead and add those tickets. Okay. And then we're going to take the chipboard and we're going to pull out the word hello, and we're going to pull out the yellowy butterfly. While we're there, we might as well grab both. Those are on the chipboard. And we'll take a little heart. I think I took this one right above the word hello. That little heart right there. So 3 chipboard items. They're all in close proximity. We have the heart that is right above hello. We have the hello, and we have the creamy yellow butterfly. Right, we're going to start with hello. We are going to put foam tape on the back of hello. I did not grab enough. Foam tape on the back of hello. Just like that. Didn't worry about all the other parts, it's okay. And what you're going to do is cover up the bottom of the flowers and the bottom of the tickets. Cover up both of those. Bottom of the flowers and bottom of the tickets. Gives it a little bit of cohesiveness. So go ahead and do those. We're going to take our butterfly, and again, if you wish to, oh, there's a little heart there. If you wish to bend it, you can. And I'm going to take another pop dot. And I'm going to put this butterfly right here, right on the edge of the rose. Okay, back to our die cuts. We have a couple more things to do. I want you to find another button. This button is from that center of the frame. A few minutes ago, you used that frame. We're going to use that other button. We used the 3 stars on the last card. I'm going to use the other button now. And I'm going to tuck it like that. Kind of right underneath. Now, if it doesn't tuck very much because of the foam tape, that's okay. You can cut it. Just trim it a little bit. I just want a little bit peeking out. Just a little. And what that does is it kind of balances out these two. So I have a dark one up here and a darker one down there. We're almost done this card. Almost. Okay. Then what we're going to do is go back to our die cut sheets, to the words. Where's the words? Right here. And down on the bottom, we have wrapped in a vintage hug and a simple. These are the two that we are going to use. Now, I'm going to be honest. I just like a simple hello. I don't necessarily like wrapped in a vintage hugs. But I will show you what you can do with it if you want. So these are the two strip words. And again, I'm going to put foam tape on the back. I think I need a foam strip. Okay. And for a simple hello, I'm going to put that, let's see, where do I want to put it? Maybe over here a little bit. Get it away from all the crowding of the tickets. So it's like that, a simple hello. What they did with the wrapped in vintage hugs, you would have to put it underneath. And I just think, well, for me, it looks a little cluttered. So I'm going to leave it off. But if you want it, you can add some foam strip and do it like that. I personally like it like that. A simple hello. I like it. But don't hesitate to use this. Now, the other thing you could do is put this inside, right? You can just do, you could do that. Options. And then the last thing we're going to do with this is we are going to grab out one chipboard heart. That is a small one. One chipboard heart. I'll walk you through the last card. I used this little one that was right above hello. And then a large and a small paper heart. Again, I don't care which one you grab. It doesn't matter. All the hearts are perfect. And then with these, we are just going to add the heart. I'm going to put a little chipboard one right on the banner. And let's see, maybe I'll put the big one there and the small one there. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I didn't think out the hearts. I was just like, maybe I'll put the big one there. I'll show you this close up in a sec. Now, hopefully you're not like, Deanna, I think I like theirs better. You might. Let me show you theirs. This was theirs. So they had a key in it. They had that chipboard clip. I'll be honest, I found it a little bulky for that, so I didn't want to use it. They also put the banner closer to the bottom. I like the banner at the top. So I did change it actually quite a bit, as you can see. But both work. And I like to add the tickets, and then I took off the key. I like keys, but I think I just kind of liked that one a little bit better. Now, before I let you go, I will show you the other ones, but I did promise you that I would do the dots. So, got my little clipper. And you don't have to, but what I am going to do is one large, one medium, one small. So for this one, I'm going to put maybe a large, a medium, and a small. We'll maybe do it like that. Again, you have options where you want to put it. Maybe with the green, I will do, how about we put it, maybe I'll put it there. And I'm just going to keep with that same kind of small, medium, large. Ooh, I like those dots. Just a little spattering. And then with the pink, where would be a good place to put the pink? The pink is really actually quite, there's a lot happening here. So I don't know if we need to do a lot with the pink, but maybe we'll put them on top of each other over here. Oh, I love these dots. They are a glossy enamel dot, and they're really, really pretty. Now, the last card that I was tasked with, just so you know, so that you can go and make it yourself, because I was not changing anything up with this one, was this brown card. So you do have the instructions. It is right here, thinking of you. You can, of course, change it up. I did not. What I would recommend with this one is maybe grab out your brown ink, like a nice light brown ink, and ink it. You could add brown foil to this. You could add gold foil to this. But I was going to do it exactly the same because I knew that I was changing up those three, that my timing was going to take you a little bit longer. So you could go ahead now and finish that last card, which is the thinking of you. Courtney's going to be doing the other four. And hopefully you like that little pop of foil added to it, because I really think it just pops these cards. Otherwise, they're just kind of, they're pretty, but they're a little flat for me. Now, when you do make this extra card, this one that says thinking of you, that's your homework. Don't be afraid to add foam tape. They do not add enough foam tape. Yes, you heard that right. So these words like you, I would pop up with foam tape. They don't. They glue it. They glue almost all of it. So it just makes it a little flat. And again, I feel like that added foam tape, it just really pops them. So that's it. Sorry for going over, but I did want to go over a few different ideas with you and change up some ideas. You have one card to make on your own, and then Courtney's going to be live on Scrapbook and Memories at 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central. Do your last card. Get those done. If you need extra kits, handful, very, very small amount left here. And I think Courtney has even a smaller amount. So these are a great Christmas gift. Also, if you want to give it to somebody, they can then go to our YouTube, follow along making it, or make it themselves. They're easy enough that kids can also make them. Teenagers, it's a great card kit to get them started. And then last but not least, Crafty Hour number 80. We are going live tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. There is an event set. Please join us. Limited quantities. We are giving you a die pretty much for free. Yes, you heard that right. And we can't get any more dies. So we do want to make sure you get them. We wanted to leave you with a wonderful one for our last Crafty Hour of 2025, and a big thank you for joining us for all the Crafty Hours this year. Let's see, we must have done about 24 of them just in the year 2025. 24 Crafty Hours. That's crazy. And then times that by 2, an hour for me and an hour for Courtney. That's 48 hours of Crafty Hours in 2025. So I hope you enjoy them. Thank you guys so very much. We'll see you tomorrow morning for a reveal, and we'll see you at 5 o'clock over on Scrapbook and Memories. Bye-bye.